Welcome to Cory Turner Talks Cars. I'm Cory, and that is a 1997 Jeep Cherokee. And I finally get to take one for a test drive. The Jeep Cherokee, or the XJ, debuted in 1984 and provided Jeep fans with a smaller SUV with seating for up to 5 with a choice of a 5-door or a 3-door body style. All right, so that brings us to our first trivia question. The Jeep Cherokee was the first what? Is it A, unibody SUV? Is it B, the first 4-door Jeep SUV? Or is it C, the first Jeep to be offered with 2-wheel drive? Do you know the answer? Well, the Wagoneer predated the Cherokee and it had 4 doors. And although this was the first Jeep to be offered with 2-wheel drive in over 16 years, it wasn't the very first. So the answer is A. The Jeep Cherokee was the first unibody SUV, which technically makes it a crossover. The Cherokee was Jeep's small-sized SUV, but it didn't lose its rugged off-road heritage. The square lines, sharp angles, and distinctive Jeep grille gave the Cherokee a strong, muscular, and I say mean appearance. It is the body style and shape that has always drawn me to the XJ. I love this design. So the Jeep Cherokee is not a tall SUV. I'm 6'2", so you get an idea of how tall it is, and that's totally fine. It doesn't matter. But one thing you do want to keep in mind is when you pop this bad boy right here, it has a very low overhang. So I think the bleeding has stopped, but I have seriously knocked myself on it twice. So when you're putting stuff in the back, you want to go into helicopter protocol and stay very low. All right, that's a great looking Jeep right there. Before we go under the hood, let's try trivia question number 2. This 4.0-liter inline 6 was called bulletproof because of its reliability. And if it did break down, it was very straightforward and easy to fix. But it was also powerful. As a matter of fact, it was about the most powerful engine in its class at the time. So, how much horsepower did this inline 6 produce? Was it A, 160 horsepower? Was it B, 175 horsepower? Or was it C, 190 horsepower? Do you know the answer? All right, well the answer is C. The Jeep Cherokee with its 4.0-liter inline 6 produced 190 horsepower. This 4-liter inline 6 produced 190 horsepower and 235 pound-feet of torque. That was a powerful engine for the time. Write-ups gave the 4-speed automatic a towing capacity of 5,000 pounds, which seems a little bit high. Now that power came at a price at the pump. It is rated at 14 miles per gallon city, 19 highway, with an average of 16 miles per gallon. The upside was a smaller, powerful SUV you could take off-road. Being a unibody design, it may not be as capable as its Jeep brother, but it's still a Jeep. And when these were being manufactured, wearing the Jeep badge meant being able to take it off the pavement. All right, before we take a look inside the XJ, it's time for trivia question number 3. When the Jeep Cherokee debuted in 1983, who owned Jeep? Was it A, Chrysler, B, AMC, or was it C, Willys? All right, do you know the answer? All right, the answer is B, AMC. Chrysler didn't buy Jeep until 1987. Looking at the XJ, you would think this is a small SUV, but it doesn't feel small inside. The driver's position is high and vision is great. The seats are firm and have manual adjustments. This model came with power windows and power door locks and a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now, I love this shifter. I used to play an arcade game called Afterburner where you flew a jet fighter. This shifter has that same feel of the throttle as you kick it into Afterburners. The instrument cluster is very straightforward. You've got your tach, you've got your miles per hour, oil pressure, engine temperature, fuel gauge, voltmeter, everything is right there. In the center console, you have, of course, your AC and heating vents, and then you got your radio. You got your controls for your climate control. They're all dials. It's fan speed, mode, temperature. Below that, you've got the rear defroster. If you need to wash your windows, you've got that there. And then also, you've got 2 power outlets. You've got the cigarette lighter as well as a power outlet. The back seat is comfortable, but if you're sitting 3 adults across the back, it is a little bit cozy, but it does give you true seating for 5. There's not a lot of creature comforts for your rear seat passengers. Legroom is a little bit tight, but this was a groundbreaking SUV that launched in 1983. So it's hard to compare it to the many options and features we've come used to today. All right, so the back door of the Jeep Cherokee is a little bit small. It's a little bit snug, but once you figure out how to get it in and out, it's really not that bad. Now, one thing that is really cool is this right here. This back glass rolls all the way down. Now, you don't get that in a lot of SUVs or crossovers or cars, right? Because they have to accommodate for the rear wheel. And Jeep did that by adding this right here, this fixed piece of glass, and allowing this to roll all the way down, which is super cool. So you've got seating for 5, you got rear windows that roll down. It's no wonder this car sold a lot, but how many did it sell? So for trivia question number 4, how many Jeep Cherokees were sold? Is it 1.5 million? Is it B, 2.8 million? Or is it C, 3.2 million? All right, do you know the answer? Okay, well, the answer is B, 2.8 million Jeep Cherokees were sold. All right, without the spare tire, there's a lot of room back here in the cargo area. The rear seat does fold down flat to give you even more area. And of course, the spare tire would fit snugly right up here along the left side. But even with that, there's still a fair amount of space for cargo. All right, now this one doesn't have the original radio. How do I know that? Well, 1, it's a Kenwood. And 2, I have the original right here. Check it out, it was a tape deck. They're changing out. I'm sure they're wanting auxiliary Bluetooth and all that. So anyway, that leads us on to trivia question number 5. In 1983, what was the base price? What was the MSRP for a Jeep Cherokee? Was it A, $7,996? Was it B, $10,663? Or was it C, $12,989? All right, do you know the answer? All right, now this may surprise you, but the base price for the Jeep Cherokee, the XJ, was B, $10,663, which honestly was a great deal because in today's money, that's just a little bit over $26,000. All right, it is time to drive the Jeep Cherokee, the classic, the XJ. As often happens when I'm filming, people come up and say hi. I had a gentleman come up today. He said hello. He was really cool, and like me, he loves the XJ. As a matter of fact, he's owned a few of them. He's worked on this incredible engine. Said yes, when they do break down, they're pretty easy to fix. And he was like me. This is the body style. This is the killer body style. The boxy, the square, that muscular look. And we both wish Jeep would bring back this style, bring back the Cherokee, bring back the XJ, stay true to the heritage. All right, so I've always loved the XJ from the outside. What is it like to be inside? Okay, it's super cool. You know, like we said earlier, it's a smaller SUV, but you do sit pretty high. I mean, the driver's position is up high. I've got plenty of visibility. I'm able to look around in all directions. There's really not any blind spots. I think that is really cool. There is up front, there's plenty of seating up front. The back seats get a little bit cramped. They're not too bad. But up here, as far as the driver, I've got plenty of room. I've had the opportunity to drive this around here for the last couple of days. You know, this one is what, a 1997. It is still going strong. That engine is still good. It's still powerful. It's got pretty good pickup right there. It's still shifting really nice. And like I say, you still feel really high. I mean, it's not a super tall SUV. Remember, I was banging my head on the liftgate, but you still feel, I'm as comparable with the SUVs that I'm passing right now, that I'm at the same height with them. I don't feel like I'm in a small SUV at all. It's comfortable. There's a few little squeaks, a few little rattles, but I mean, those would give it its charm, right? This is a Jeep. It is meant to be taken off-road. I'm sure the majority stayed on the pavement, as do most SUVs of today, but this one actually was really capable, and if you got it in the 4-wheel drive version, you could take it off-road and do really well with it. The seats are firm, but they're comfortable. I'm kind of used to that era of this kind of cloth seats, right? But these are good. I could see these actually being comfortable in even longer trips. Sometimes you thought of going on longer trips and seats this firm. Not sure about that, but I could do it in this seat. I think this seat is fine. I think it's good for a long trip, and I think it offers you pretty good support too if you're going off-road. I've always wanted to drive an XJ, and getting to it actually lives up to the hype. Most of the time, cars that you really want, or sometimes the dream cars, especially exotics and things like that, they look great on the poster on the wall. They look great driving by. They look great on the lot. But once you get in, you start to realize all the shortcomings of the vehicle. I'm not saying the Jeep Cherokee, this XJ here, is perfect. But overall, it lives up to what my expectations were of the ride, of the drive, of the handling. This is something I could drive every day. There's something, too, about the fact that you're driving what I consider a classic Jeep. I mean, the XJ, this was 2.8 million units sold. This was a popular Jeep. It still is, and it still has a body style that I think is extremely cool. So even driving one now, you don't feel like you're driving an old car. You feel like you're really driving a classic, and people still turn and look and see you when you drive by. Oh yeah, I'm absolutely loving this. Yep, probably gonna have to get one of these. Definitely need one of these. This is greatness. I have to admit, I love the Jeep Cherokee, the XJ, right? It's boxy, muscular shape. And I know in today's crowded market of curvy SUVs and crossovers, it may look old, but it is awesome. And before today, I always wanted one, but now I have to have one. Do you own an XJ? Have you owned an XJ before? Send me some pictures. I would love to see them. Please leave me some comments and tell me, what was it like to drive an XJ and own one? Remember to like, comment, and share. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're growing, and that's because of you. And let's talk about cars tomorrow.